Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Alrighty, good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. It is the hard to believe we're in the last week of the month of August. We are steamrolling into fall, and know where you are, but yeah, it's been extremely hot today, unseasonably cool. It's supposed to be in the like outside this morning. It's only about it's 62, 68 degrees. And I think our high today is only 81. Let me double check here. And let's look at these earnings. Yep, stocks are doing pretty good. Let's see here. I'm trying to see what our weather is going to. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Right now it's 68, and it is going to be the high today is 84, and chance of rain. So yeah, I'm loving it. I love this kind of weather. This is you can wear sweatpants, sweatshirts out there. You can wear shorts as well. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. So, but hit that like button as you come in. I know we haven't talked to each other in a while, but got some topics to talk about. FSR 3.0 rolling out for PS5 and PC. For FORSPOKEN, and I think a couple other games it's going to roll out for on PlayStation. STARFIELD will have it, I believe, on Xbox. So, or at least on PC. I don't know anything about Xbox. I assume it's going to be on Xbox. So, but but you'll be able to see it in real time running. I got a video ready for you. Shout out to AMD. It's a 40-second video, fair use. You'll be able to see the where it's at with the game, with it having it on and off, and I think that's a good thing. Also, more Starfield news came out. Just disappointing news came out as far as what you can and cannot do on these planets, and you'll see it for yourself. You'll see the actual developer be asked a question, and then you'll actually see Tom Henderson following up. So it's actually disappointing. Hopefully I can pull that up. Also, there is some game running on Xbox Series S at 480p or 483p, or it was something bad. I'm going to try to pull that up too. But we got that. You also had the fact that the Baldur's Gate dev made Xbox bend the knee. This is why you just don't game on Xbox. So we'll go a little bit into that story. This was predicted by myself and other people that these developers were going to just stop. They were no longer going to start developing for Series S, and we'll get into that, and we'll open up my new motherboard. I do believe it's over there somewhere, and we'll do that unboxing live. So what? But yeah, it's Sunday. Like I said, it's the end of the month. You had NFL preseason ended last night. So your final cuts are Tuesday afternoon. I think they start cutting people Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. So, but people will get their phone calls if you make the team. You find out today in the NFL if you were on that, if you're on the team or not. You will find out today. And then Monday, they tell, Monday when you come to the building, they will ask you to turn your stuff in, and then on Tuesday, they announce you've been cut. I think that's the new thing they're doing now. They used to have 4 preseason games. You all know that. There used to be 4 preseason games, and then you would get cut. There was a cut down day, which there's still a cut down day, because they will cut you, and then they'll say, we're going to cut you, put you on waivers. If nobody picks you up, then we'll bring you back. Also, they'll say, we're going to cut you, but we want to put you on our practice squad. And then the final thing is you're getting cut, like cuts. You're out of a job. You're out of the league. So you're not out of the league. Somebody else may pick you up. I'm a Bengals fan, and everybody that was playing into the fourth quarter yesterday, those guys aren't making the team. I mean, they are. That's why they're out there, to get film on them so that other coaches can see them. Other coaches call around, hey, look, can we get some film on X, Y, and Z? So I know for me, one of my favorite Bengals I've watched is Trent Taylor, not Trent Irwin, Trent Taylor. And I don't think Trent Taylor makes the team. That's just my opinion. Doesn't mean, I just think he's one of the people that are gone. So, but we'll see. We will see. Mike Thomas. I think he's gone. He plays for the Bengals special teams. I hope he makes the team. I just don't see it happening, but we'll find out. You will find out. That wide receiver room, you got Jamar Chase in there. You've got, Jamar Chase is in there. Boyd is in there. Higgins is in there. Your fourth receiver looks like it's going to be Trent. It's between Trent Irwin and Charlie Jones. So that right there, that's, that's 5 receivers right there. So if they keep 6, it's going to be this Josiasevich guy. He's the 6th receiver. And, Trent Taylor, I believe, and these other guys are gone. It's not, I'm serious. So, let's see here. AM5. No, I don't think so, but I'll show you all the motherboard. So it's unfortunate that this is a tough day. These guys gotta understand, these are kids. I mean, they're 22 to 26 years old maybe, and they're talking to their families, and this is why you always gotta have a backup job if you're in the NFL, unless you're a top 2 pick or top 2 in the top 2 rounds, and you're set for the rest of your life, and then you immediately start playing for your second contract. So, and that's what 2 NFL players told me. If you don't get your second contract, unless you're a top pick, so you may be out of dough. So don't, if you get money, don't do what that one basketball player, Sebastian Telfair, did. He got drafted to the Boston Celtics, and everybody came at him with their hands out. I watched this TV show called Broke, and these NFL players, basically, they were getting phone calls on their paydays talking about, man, I'm going to get locked up on child support. Man, they jamming me up, this, and this. And the guy finally said, I got my own family to take care of. The guy had a wife. He had a daughter, right? And he's like, I got to take care of them. You're a grown-ass man. So, I mean, it was crazy. But let's get into it. Let's start the show. Shout out to everybody that's here. J-Ro is in the house. How are you doing, sir? CRU, how are you doing? How are you doing this morning? So, Malice Flares in the house. Art of Igbor, how you doing, bro? So, in general, the ape it's saying what up to everybody. So, let's just go ahead and get it started, okay? Let me see if I can pull up this AMD thing. And the source. Let's see here. Did I pull up the AMD thing? Well, let's just start with the Starfield news, because that's already had that pulled up. So, okay, so this is my little Starfield news. And yes, I plan on playing Starfield, so I play games like Starfield, so I know what I'm expecting, but it seems like every day something else comes out. So this guy on Twitter tweeted Pete Hines. Now, granted, it doesn't have a blue check mark. This could be a fake account, Pete Hines' account. But this guy simply asked, when I land on a planet, will I be able to explore that whole entire planet? Okay, now, all right, it's a question mark. He makes these little stupid things on here. And Pete Hines, who works for Bethesda, if you don't know, says, yep, if you want, walk on, Brave Explorer. All right, I think that sounds like really good news. But Tom Henderson updates this. And Tom Henderson says, and there's multiple people over here if you all, really want to take a hardcore look at it. He says, just getting around to all this Starfield boundary stuff from an article that went up on IG, which I actually thought was fine since deleted. So he just goes into what he knows. Basically, planets have a different number of landing spots with terrain limits. All right, so that's already telling you can't go where you want. One planet might have 3 landing spots, while others, excuse me, hold on, excuse me, others might have 5. These are your main landing spots with POIs, and then you have another number of landing spot allocations where you can land anywhere. Once again, terrain limit. You can't run all you can't run all the way around a planet or wherever. Excuse me. Or wherever, and can't run to another landing spot. Must just be a means to not stress consoles, computers, or whatever. All right, this is already bad. So I already don't have a rover, but now I have designated spots. So that's it. And this for me is very disappointing, but For other people, it may not matter. You know. Now, what you're seeing right there on Mass Effect, if you just saw that, that was a load screen. Anytime it shows something dropping down or taking off, it just loads it. It's a load screen. You know, they put a screen up while another screen's loading. Starfield's got load screens in it because, shout out to the late great Optimus Code, the Xbox is designed to build games like they are currently and run them really good. Run them really good. Well, the PlayStation is designed to do that and more, and that's the truth. I mean, now we're starting to see it. That's why it was stupid, the console war, because all this stuff, like he told me, all this stuff was going to start coming out. He said within the next year, and that's give or take. It's been roughly 2 years, but because he actually talked to developers. So let me see if I can pull up the whole FSR thing. So what I'm doing now, 3.0. Let's see here. Okay, I just had this loaded up. So wow. So we'll go to this. Well, hold on. Let me find the video first. Let me find that first. That's the first thing I want. I'll pull that other story up here. FSR 3.0. Aha. I found it. Well, let's get Ryan Reynolds' grill off of my screen. Alrighty, so yep, we'll go to that. We'll go back over here. Let me get this up on the screen for you all. And now we will play it on the screen. Well, let me make sure we have it ready to roll. All right, I've got it in 2 places. Do that. Still up there? Okay, all right. I already had it up here. All right. So here we go. This is FSR. This is 3.0. 3.0. I have no sound. This is from AMD. Fair use. All right. So you can see right here. Look at it with FSR 3 off. And it's in 4K, ultra high, and the average is 53. Okay. Look at it with it on. 4K, ultra high, average FPS. Now that's on a high end. Look at that card. That's on a high end AMD card. 175 FPS. Okay. Now this is easy. You'll say, well, there's no stress on the screen. You're right. Forspoken's world is a lot of it is empty, but the story tells you why it's empty. So it's coming. It's coming to these games. We'll go over this. So again, this is Square Enix. Shout out to Square Enix. So there's availability subject to change depending on game developer schedule. Well, I believe these 2 games are. I know Forspoken's out. I have it. So yeah, here we go. We'll keep going. Here's your future support. Wow. With it on Cyberpunk and Avatar and then Crimson Desert, there's your Black Myth Wukong. I don't know anything about a Starship Troopers game. Okay, I don't know anything about it. But this game, these 2 games here, I have Forspoken. I plan on getting Avatar and Black Myth Wukong. Yes, even Cyberpunk. Can you imagine what Cyberpunk's gonna look like? You see what I'm saying? So let's see what else they have here. Because this is only a 40-second video. These are the studios, okay, that have it. You see Massive. There's Ubisoft has it. Square Enix has it. CD Projekt Red has it. So wow. There you go. This is why I see why people have AMD. So, and these are GPUs. This is for the not the CPU. Of course, I'm switching mine AMD CPU GPU. I'm switching my GPU. I went to NVIDIA to get the deep learning super sampling. That way I could to save it. So to help save on different things. So that's what I'm doing. And yes, now I'm feeling some kind of way, and I should have just went with the 6700 XT. So but yeah, it's that joke is on me. Right? But at the end of the day, the FSR 3.0, let's see, we'll get to this other story that I have up there. Let's see here. All right, so let me put this on the screen. This comes from WCC Tech, and go. The good news is that it works on all GPUs, so you can activate it on even my little GPU. But there you go, FSR 3 technology coming to Forspoken and Immortals of Avenum. Works on all GPUs and consoles. So there you go. Yeah, so everybody is supported, even the and Starfield is going to have this, I believe, on the Series X and S. So that will help. That'll help because that will, that'll just help. I mean, I'm not going to get into all the technology. It's too early and my brain's not awake yet. So, but I think this is really good news for everybody. So they says here they've given it's a frame boosting technology, if you want to know what it is. And again, they spell fidelity here wrong, but it is what it is, right? So it's been almost 10 months since AMD unveiled FSR 3 when it first introduces RDNA 3 GPUs. Back then, AMD promised gamers to expect up to 2 times the performance increase over FSR 2. And later, we got to know that the company was going to use frame rate interpolation, similar to NVIDIA's DLSS3 technology, as means to achieve this huge performance jump. Not going to get into frame interpolation. It's just too early in the morning. Here's something else. If you all are building a PC, this made me mad again. I still may change my mind. The 7600 drops down to its lowest price available for the United States at $229. If you're building a PC, I highly recommend you get it. And if you get it, look down here at the bottom of the screen here. This is what you get. So you get Starfield. So it's one of the games you can just get it. So what is it right now? $229. Normally it's $269. So but this is at Micro Center. Shout out to Micro Center. And there's a lot of people that it's in competitive pricing, they say, with the 4060. But if you're a NVIDIA whore, you're going to stay with NVIDIA, right? This is my first NVIDIA card that I'll be putting into my computer. So I will see exactly what I'm dealing with. So let's look at this here. There's other stories here if you really want to know about upscaling imaging technology. If you're a PC gamer, you're trying to save on some cash, this will do it. You can get this technology and it looks fine. And the main thing is you keep the same look. Granted, it's upscaled, but you keep the same look and you get those frames. So you may source from 1080p up to 1440p and it'll look fantastic, but it's not a native picture. This is why when people were saying that things could be streamed and stuff like that, they're going to start adding this type of technology to streaming eventually. And that's your future. So, and somebody did this video for Starfield. I can pull it up. But somebody did a Starfield in Unreal 5 and it's 4K and it's a video up with it. Not going to play the video, just so you know. But I like using WCCF Tech because they get good stories. They give good love to me. Shout out to Whitney Houston. Rest in peace. So looking to build PCs, get PC parts and stuff like that. This is a good time to be doing that. Motherboards are down exponentially right now. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and get my camera fired up here. And let's make that a little bit smaller. You don't have to see my whole grill. Y'all are eating breakfast. There we go. So let me go and grab it. We'll start to open that bad boy. All righty, this came yesterday about 10:30 in the morning, a lot faster than I thought it was going to come. So I'll sit back here and open this. Okay. Unboxing. All right. And as you can see, back in there, may not be able to see. Ready? There it is. Ooh, it's heavy. Bigger than I thought. That is fine motherboard. Fine. There it is. Name. Yeah, there. 550B motherboard plus got PCI E 4.0 ready. 16 bytes per lane. Ooh, it's got something over here called 5 times. I have no idea what that is. It's got a fan. It's heavy. So this will join. That's your motherboard. Now this motherboard is on sale on Amazon. You can get this motherboard with 3 payments of $43. Okay, 4 payments of $43. So again, if you're building a PC, then get it. This will take it right here. So here's the GPU again. If you want to know about the GPU, something called a 3060. Okay. It supports DSD. Here's the memory. Go into my back. Memory. 1,000 digits of time. I got this crazy thing from Final Fantasy. And in Horizon 2. Right there. And 500. So this fit right onto this, fits right there. I want to know, it fits right there. Memory goes right here. We're good. And do not let these idiots tell you this is not. My motherboard was $279. My motherboard. My GPU was $279. My motherboard is $129. My AMD Ryzen $109, and my memory $39. That, my friends, is the new bill. The power source I already have. I may end up getting another one though. I may go up to $750 on the power source, but I think I'm at $650 now, or maybe I'll go to $850 just to make sure. I'm not gonna do any overclocking. If you don't know, there's more SSD space. So, but I'm not gonna do overclocking at all. So this will be done in the fall. So, because I'm still hung on trying to get a new motherboard. But there you have it. So once again, you can afford what I got. Okay, you can afford what I have. I think all in all, let's look it up here. Pull up the Big Daddy calculator here. So we'll just call them GPU 300, new motherboard 129. CPU 109. And the memory was 39. So I'm still under $600. Or you could just round it up to $600. So, but you have to remember, I'm paying the motherboard on time. So 3 payments of $42 or something like that. So you're not hearing me at all. Does it have Wi-Fi built in? I don't know. So I assume so. So, yep, some TVs had interpolation. Most of them do now. Hopefully y'all can hear me better. I was sitting away from the mic when I did the unboxing. So that way you all could see it. I wasn't, because my HOTAS is right in front of me and I don't want to move it because I have it set in the perfect spot for me to play my sim games, which I'm going to play later on. I'm going to probably be broadcasting that later on. So I'm going to do some World War II fighter planes. So, but yeah, hopefully you're hearing better now. Put a 1 in the chat if it sounds better now. So yeah, I hopefully it's better. Yeah, I'm right up on it. So, you know, there we go. Let me put it right here. So, but I'm right up on it now. But it says here, is that Wi-Fi built in? Not sure. I'll look. You ain't hearing me. Yeah, I read that one. It's better now. Good. Malice Flair says that Prime 5500B brand is good. Yeah, now that I have a 470 in there right now, but I was trying to get a 570, but the 570s were still up there. They were over $159. So you know me, you know, we go for quality and we go for quality hard over here. And you know, there's ways to build your PC and not spend, you know, I mean, even if I get a power source, it'll probably put me up a little over $600. So when you hear these PC cats telling you, oh man, I spent $2,000 on my rig, you know, and they're jerking themselves off to it, you just say, what I have right here keeps all my games at 1440p 60 with HDR or SDR, whatever kind of ray tracing that they can put in, and I'm fine. You know, you want to, I mean, I'm not saying not to go get that high-end stuff, but if you just want the game on PC and maintain the frames, there's ways to do that. And they're always going to say things like, well, this is going to be better. The 4060, you know, why have that 4060? You can get a 4070. Well, the 4060 pretty much does the same thing. So that's not that there are slight differences, of course, but overall, it's going to do the same thing. So this doesn't, you know, there's just, now if you're going to do multi-threading, gaming and stuff like that, you're going to have to step it up. You have to step it up. That's just the way it is. But this keeps me at the rugged 60 FPS that I want to be at. So that's where I want to be. So what's up, the Hawk? He says it's a 1. That's good for me then. That's good for me. So understand what just happened. So if you're buying Starfield and you think you're going to be able to go all over the planet, you can't. Okay, that's now been confirmed by Tom Henderson. So what exactly is this game? Well, it sounds like it's a big game for Bethesda. I gotta keep saying that. However, it is a step down from No Man's Sky. It sounds like it's something that's in between No Man's Sky and Elite Dangerous, but I would put Elite ahead of it because it's 60 frames per second and you can land on planets. And granted, Elite Dangerous has predetermined landing spots, okay? But you can also get out in the rover, okay? You spent two G's on Prime Day, you saved 1,200. Well, I mean, again, that's what I'm saying. Is that I wouldn't spend over $1,000 on PCs, but that's me. That's my own budget. That's my own budget. Now, here's the good news. If you spend that kind of money, then you are not going to have to upgrade your PC for at least 3 to 5 years. So that you insulate yourself from that. Whereas if people like me, we're going to be updating maybe every 3 years minimum. You know, because they'll tell you, the guys in the PC world will tell you, you don't have to have the highest end stuff, but like right now, because the 4000s are out in NVIDIA, because the 4000s are out, you got to get out of the 2000s. So the 2060, the 2080, maybe the 2080 can survive it, but the 2080, the 2060, 2070s, nah, those are done. You know, those are done, you know, at this point. So, and if you're in AMD, you need to, at the bare minimum, be in the low 6s. Okay, not the 65, but you got to get up to the 67 to 68. So, a big game with different areas, mask an entire world. Well, I mean, again, I'm not knocking the game. I haven't played the game. I'm just telling you what it doesn't have compared to games like it. And right now, it's a disappointment. It doesn't mean, I'm not here to say the game's trash. I've never said that about Starfield. I like Bethesda's games. My favorite Bethesda game is Skyrim. My second favorite Bethesda game, well, it's a tie between Skyrim and Fallout, like Fallout 3. Now, Fallout 4 was a disappointment. I still enjoyed it, but it was a disappointment. So, it is what it is. Oblivion and Skyrim are two of my favorite games I've ever played. Ever. Of course, Mass Effect is up there, but so I'm cutting them a break. But yeah, you cannot have a space exploration game and not explore the planets fully. That's part of the exploration. But we'll see. Maybe they've done something else in game that's going to allow us players to do certain things. I mean, that's the whole thing about playing the game. Now, my understanding is that you they show a play. They show a faceless player picking up an artifact, and your whole goal in Starfield is to go find the 52 CU. So that's exactly what we're doing. You know, apparently Starfield, it maxes out the Series X. So now we're going to see what 12 T-flops and 52 CUs can do. Because right now, the fact that it's only giving me 30 frames per second, that's sorry. I mean, that's like when Richard Sherman called Crabtree sorry. You know, it's sorry. He called him a sorry receiver, and this is a sorry game. So, because the games that are similar to it have more stuff, and they're older. Now, can the combat be good? Yes. Mass Effect Andromeda on console, 30 frames per second. The combat is good. Okay? Granted, you're just standing right in front of it like something out of Final Fantasy VII, you know, or yeah, you're standing in front of the enemy and everybody's shooting and stuff like that. So, and doing different things. So it's, again, that's fine. But it is what it is. A Mass Effect Andromeda was on the Frostbite engine. So it did exactly what the Frostbite engine does. It creates these beautiful worlds, but the people making Mass Effect Andromeda did not know how to program different life on the world. So the life is the same. It's just different colors. Like, oh, this is the same creature. It acts the same way. It does the same things, except it's orange. Oh, this creature is blue. Oh, this one's brown, but it does the exact same thing. But, you know, it is what it is. But so we will see. But, you know, just that news coming out. And Starfield will be out. Now, let me understand this, and somebody can correct me. I know for schlebs like me, it comes out on the 6th. Okay, that's my understanding. But if you have the special edition, I'm gonna sneeze again. Excuse me. If you have the special edition, do you get it like 3 days early? Does it come out on the 3rd or something like that? Yeah, max out. That's what developers have said about Starfield. It maxes out the Series X console. That's what we were told. Oh, catching a cold. But let's see here. Yeah, they've been working on it for a long time. Yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda, there was nothing wrong with the game, the way it looked. There was nothing wrong with the combat. The story was garbage. Garbage. Listen to me. Garbage. G-A-A, no R. This G-A-A-B-A-G-G-E, exclamation point. Garbage. I mean, it was so bad. So, but but can't deny what people are saying. Starfield's been downgraded. I'm not here to say that it hasn't been. I don't know. It probably has been, because most games do get downgraded a little, somewhat. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So, but I can't remember, because I wouldn't mind playing the game early, because we have the long weekend, right? Coming up. We have a 3-day weekend. We're off on Mondays. Well, at least my clinic is closed on Monday. I don't know where you guys are working at. But we work on Monday. But the mere fact you're looking at a screen now, Mass Effect came out in 2007, and I have a rover, and I'm exploring the planet. What I'm doing right now, I can't do on Starfield. I'm just wanting you to see that. What I'm doing right now, you cannot do on Starfield. So, and again, I've created my player. I can do that. So again, this is why I said before, to people that are trying to piss all over Starfield, I'm like, look, it sounds like they took different things from different games that are already created, and they tried to do it a little bit better, a little different. All right. So we'll see if their version of different means it's better. Also, all these guys online, when you all are attacking Starfield, these Xbox guys are going to keep talking about it more, because for them, they don't care that it's 30 frames per second. All they care is that it's not on PlayStation. And they finally get to say, buy an Xbox. That's what they've been wanting to say for years. And so the more people, I said, the more you talk about it, the more they're going to speak out on it. So just leave it alone. The game will come out. Yeah, the way it's being marketed, like I said, it was a soft marketing campaign. I mean, that game comes out in what, 10 days? Something like that, 10 days. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. You wanted to like Andromeda so bad, you delete it. Yeah, I mean, there was things about Andromeda I did like. The story was just bad. I mean, that's all there is to it. It was a bad story. I leave it there. And, I do believe after you play Mass Effect 1, that the next game you should play is Mass Effect Andromeda, because at that point, it makes some sense with the technology. And it does give you a sense of where you're developing new new weapons and stuff like that. The weapons from the I forgot what it was called. The stuff that was already there, those weapons were cool. I'm not going to deny that. They look cool. It gave you all these different abilities. Once you unlock those abilities, it did make the game a little bit better, but my guy turned into a super trooper because he had that stuff on. You've been playing Sea of Stars. All right, well, yeah, I have no idea what Starfield is going to be like. But yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda split the Mass Effect community. So, and now you have a newer Mass Effect community. So shout out to Mr. Halton and other people doing Mass Effect content, because they're back doing it. And the older folks, if you want to call it like that, the ones I used to listen to, from Deanna Takes to Gamer MD83, they've stepped back. They're not doing Mass Effect content anymore, because they got caught up in that wash of Andromeda. Andromeda nerds, they broke up because of Mass Effect Andromeda. Pretty much they were getting slammed on social media, and one of them just said, I'm going to school to programming. I'll see you later. He said something like that on his Twitter feed. He canceled his Twitter. Another guy left Twitter. I forgot what his name was, but those guys are gone. And so, and it would be what, Do I like my motherboard? Yeah, it's an Asus Prime Pro Plus. It's an Asus Prime B550 Plus. So the first motherboard I ever had was an Asus. Then my second one here is an MSI. And now I went back to Asus. So I kind of went home. But I've always had AMD motherboards and CPUs and GPUs. I am switching it to the NVIDIA. because I kept hearing people say, oh, the video. So I'm going to give it a chance with this deep learning super sample. I'm doing all that. So I'm doing all that. So, but yeah, Paul Game said maxed out 12T flop. We're going to find out. That's it. All I know is that these idiots are caping for 30 frames per second. And this is the same group of people who were saying that, you know, PlayStation couldn't do this, or this. And here they are bragging about 30 frames per second. So No Man's Sky is on sale for $29.99. I recommend people buy that game. Okay. I enjoyed it when it came out. Was it 6 years ago on PS4? That's one of the first PS4 games I bought. One of the first 5, I think. And I finished it. You know, I finished it. So it depends on whatever. But yeah, I finished No Man's Sky. And the whole goal was get to the center of the galaxy. Back then, I don't know what it is now. But yeah, a friend of mine said this. Well, this guy on my Xbox friend list said, you know, I can play No Man's Sky and that other one, Outer Worlds, which is also a good game. It's solid, you know. And all that can be played on Xbox, and they're not wrong about that. So again, if you like RPGs right now, as of right now, with them buying Bethesda was the RPG hog, and it belongs to them now. So, and this is why I've always said, get a PlayStation, get a PC, get a Nintendo Switch. You won't miss out on nothing. And but for some reason, people take it like, you know, you're cussing out their mama. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just silly at this point. We're 3 years into the generation. The PlayStation is clearly the better of the two consoles. People were saying, well, what about Call of Duty? Again, if you're a big Call of Duty player, then get it on Xbox. This Call of Duty that's coming out, for me personally, the new one that's about to come out, Modern Warfare 3, whatever they're calling it, that's the last Call of Duty game I'm ever going to play. That's it for me. You know, I'll finish the story of all those guys, of Kaz or Gaz, whatever their names are. I'll finish that story out and I'll be done with it. What up, J-Dub City? Is this Starfield? Well, it might be. Well, it's not, because this is running at 60 frames per second. On PC, I think I was over like I think with PC I had to slow it down. I had it at like 250. At one point I got it up to 215 frames per second. It was nuts. So you're gonna try it on VR. Pretty sure it's on Plus. Yeah, see, a lot of people are playing No Man's Sky in VR. They're putting the video up, and people are attacking them as well. I just think it's silly. And one of the things that PlayStation does have is a high-end VR system, and No Man's Sky is one of the games that works with it. I plan on getting the VR system for Christmas. I already wrote my letter to Santa Claus, and Santa Claus hopefully brings me the VR. So he wanted to know if I'd been naughty or nice. I said both. Yeah, I think I seen King Thrash's video on Starfield. So I think that's the one he was talking about that was downgraded. And it looks like it has been. I mean, it is what it is. So, you know, it is what it is. So yeah, but just wrapping this part of the video up, FSR 3.0 is coming to PlayStation. It's going to work on all consoles. You all saw the headline. So again, arm yourself with knowledge, do the reading. Shout out to BGS. Do the reading, and then you won't get your cheeks busted. I promise you. You don't have to get your cheeks busted. Just have to do the reading. So also, if you're wanting to buy a new GPU, and I'm mad at this, I still may change my mind. The RX 7600 is down to $229 US. It's at Micro Center, I believe it was called. Yeah, the AMD Radeon RX 7600 now retailing at Micro Center for $229. All right, that's where we're at with it. So if you're trying to build a PC, and you don't have to do it all at once, you want to do it by parts, get this GPU. Get that GPU. Also, you can get the AMD 5500 CPU, so make sure you get the right motherboard, for about $115 right now on Amazon. So I highly recommend you do it. I recommend you do it. That gets you your GPU and your CPU. Then now, once you get your CPU and it's an AMD, you got to get an AMD motherboard. Guys, I got my motherboard for $129 in 3 payments of $40 something, $42 or something like that. So you can do it too. All right, but go ahead and get it started. This gets you the 60. You can pay for Game Pass. Game Pass loads very easily on your Windows PC. Make sure you have a Windows Pro 10 minimum. I would recommend Windows 11 to get that installed, just to make sure you have the most up-to-date one. But we'll have to, that's up to you all. It's up to you all. So, it is what it is. Also, the character you're seeing on the screen, I created that creator on the BioWare creator screen. I even gave him my ears. That's literally what my ears look like. So I don't have his hair on, his rugged good looks, but I do have his ears. So, what's up, Alfonso? How you doing, man? Oh, man. So now we'll get to Microsoft bending the knee. Let's talk about Microsoft bending the knee. So let's see here. Let me get those stories ready for you. This. So now what? Let's see here. I have to start with this. I'm going to put this up on the screen here and let you all just kind of marinate on it for about 30 seconds while I go get me some Kentucky bourbon. I'm gonna pour out a little liquor. So, as Tupac said back in the day, I want you to, this dude is hilarious, man. So I'm gonna put that up there and I'm gonna go pour me a little liquor. Saying, Craig, it's 10:30 in the morning, but it's never too early. It's early to sit. There we go. Plus, I'm grown. I can do whatever I want. Just had a birthday. All right. So you all see what Phil Spencer is saying, right? So basically what happened is that the studio went in there, and this comes from Destructoid, and there's other places you can read these stories too. But shout out to Christopher Baggett. As Phil Spencer said, the changes are for Baldur's Gate are not about parody. Yeah, it is. Basically, here's what happened: is Larian Games went in there and said, we're not going to develop for the Series S, and if we have to, this game isn't coming to your platform. It'll be on PC, of course, but it won't be. Oh yeah, there's a noise that I love to hear early in the morning. So, and or this game isn't coming to your platform. He says, I don't see a world where we drop S. Now this is true. Microsoft is not going to drop the S. The developers are dropping the S. What's that saying? Are you eating it or is it eating you? So it says in terms of parody, I don't think you've heard us or Larian saying that this is about parody. I think I think that that's more that the community is talking about it. There are features that ship on X today that do not ship on S, even from our own games, like ray tracing that works on X but not on S in certain games. And he goes on, this is damage control. This is exactly what they would do in a marketing department when things are, when things are out of control. So this is exactly what you say. This is a statement written for Phil Spencer. At the end of the day, this company here went in there and said, this game's not coming out. And again, Microsoft is having issues with the Series S. That's why Halo didn't get all its features. The people who are making the Lord of the Rings game, they're having issues. That Team Kill or whoever's making Quantum Era, they're having issues. And they have an Unreal 5 game. They moved their game from Unreal 4 to Unreal 5. So, and again, so, and every time, and I want to give a shout out to Lono, Reforged Gaming, big shout out to him, because he called this months ago. He said the developers, he even went as far as to say, that maybe the developers, I don't want to put words in his mouth. As a matter of fact, I'll take that back. I know I specifically said that developers would stop making games for Xbox because of the Series S. And I'm glad these developers went in and they slapped Microsoft around, because the Series S is not what it needs to be. And anybody who goes out and buys it, you got hoe in you. That's all I got to say. You have hoe. Look, let me make this clear. There are collectors out there that collect everything. I mean, the first iPhone, if you all don't know this, the first iPhone ever made, which was just auctioned off for over $1 million. So a collector bought it. Okay, he never opened it, and he just kept it in its box, kept it sealed. He did not. It was sealed. It was Apple, said, yes, this is our product, and then he sold it at an auction. Woo. But again, the Series S was out, came out at $299. And you all remember, if you followed this channel for a while, I was looking to buy the Series S. Remember I said, look, if they target 1440p, 60 frames per second with HDR, I'm getting it. I'll buy that, because that will allow me to play some of the older games. I don't have to, people are like, what about your PC? I'm like, well, I would still have kept up with my PC, but at this point now, I am recommending people just build a PC. The one I'm about to put together, this is minus the case and the power source. The one I am going to put together in a few more weeks, it costs about six. It was over a little over $6. So, or right at 600. So, and you may get parts cheaper than me. But I understand I have fast memory. I have a new SSD for it. I've got a new all my stuff is new. I did not go secondary market to get my stuff. This is all brand new stuff that I have unboxed here at the house in front of you guys. So it's shout out to Hard 8 Times. He's right. The best way to build a PC is to just piece it together, because you can get the parts cheaper. That's what I did. If I had gotten my motherboard at the high end, that would have been $229. The 3060 would have cost me about $349 maybe. I got it for $279, $289, something like that. So, despite Baldur's Gate 3 changes, Series S is still important. Again, this is Microsoft's top selling console, and they're not going to walk away from it. However, the developers are not going to be developing their games. And this game, Baldur's Gate, was going to be a PlayStation console exclusive, because they weren't going to be able to fix it. So they were like, well, we'll launch it on Xbox next year. And you're looking at a game, and those developers went in there and ripped their pants down and told them that, what you going to do? We're not going to do this. we have one of the hottest selling games. We'll probably win Game of the Year, the PC Game of the Year, definitely. I still think Hogwarts, is that what it's called? Hogwarts Legacy. Everybody keeps forgetting about that game. Was it Hogwarts Legacy? Everybody, that game came out, oh, this Game of the Year, this Game of the Year. You know, and now what, you forgot? I mean, the same guys, that's what I said, their balls fell off. I don't know why you listen to these guys, but okay. This Baldur's Gate is going to be PC Game of the Year, definitely. And it may win overall Game of the Year. But that is leverage when you're talking to a company like Microsoft. You know, you leverage what you have against them. And like, hey, look, this game's coming out on PC and PlayStation whenever, a few more weeks, and you won't have it at all. So what do you want to do? And it's like, okay, it's not like they're gonna have cross saves on Series S and things like that, but they're dropping one of the main features. So it's like two dicks and no chick with that Series S. Shout out to Notorious B.I.G. So it is what it is. So, but I'm very happy as a gamer that the developers went in there and slapped Microsoft around, because they got sick and tired of Microsoft just coming out not telling the truth about this. So, and now we realize, oh, well, you know, it's not what people think. You know, this wasn't what people think. So, I think Unreal Engine 5 will push some console gamers to PC. I disagree, because the first time we saw Unreal Engine 5 running was on a console. So, you know, but again, I mean, I certainly, I will disagree. I will agree to disagree on that one. I can see if the first thing we saw Unreal running on was like a 3080 or something like that a few years ago, but it's not. So, and we saw it running on a PS5. So, Paul Game said the bad part about Series S is you can't ignore it because it's the best-selling series console by a wide margin. Yes, as first party, you can't. Third party, second party, they can. And Lyran's game is so popular and it's moving so well on PC, and it's setting up, isn't it the #1 game on PlayStation right now, or most anticipated game, or something like that? So when you have that kind of leverage, you can just walk away. It's like it's like if you own a record company and I have sold 10 million records, and I come to your record label. Well, no, all right, let's forget about that. Look at the guy that's playing Mahershala Ali. He won 2 Oscars, and he walked right into Kevin Feige's office with no meeting, and he said, I want to be Blade. Or I got one word for you, Kevin, Blade. And Kevin Feige didn't say no. He said, yes, we're doing it. And that was it. That's leverage. Now, how did Mahershala Ali just walk into Kevin Feige's office with no meeting? Okay, at this point in time in Hollywood, everybody wants to meet with Kevin Feige for 1 minute. So Mahershala Ali did it because he had leverage. Hey, I won 2 Oscars. I'm not taking it. I don't need a meeting with Kevin Feige. You know, you know, I'm not gonna do it. You know, it is what it is. So you know, I will play this character, and I'm gonna offer my services. But Kevin's gonna say yes or no. Kevin Feige was not gonna turn down a 2-time Oscar award-winning actor to play a role. He was not going to do that. So, definitely was first seen on PS, talking about the Unreal Engine. Yeah. Every Unreal Engine, so PS5 consoles will be, yeah, they're fine. They're fine. Unreal Engine hasn't even hit its stride yet. It's starting to get out of the gate. But there's a lot of games coming out using Unreal 5. Everybody's hoping the new Mass Effect game that they're working on will use Unreal 5. So, I mean, again, we'll have to wait and see, but, and they may not, you know, BioWare and EA, that's a fight, you know, EA does not like the fact that, the Star Wars game is not on its proprietary engine. It's on Unreal. So, and EA has a proprietary engine. So that is like going into the Michelin store where they have Michelin tires that are proprietary to Michelin and getting a bunch of Firestones. So it's just they're gonna be like, well, we're at Michelin or going to Coors, and you know those stories out in Colorado with Coors beer, whereas that if you work for Coors and somebody from the company sees you out drinking a Budweiser or whatever, a Michelob or something different than Coors, they will try to fire you out there. It's happened. It's happened to a guy. Guy had to work in the morning, so he said, "Well, I want to enjoy the taste of a beer, so I got a Mick Ultra." And one of the I don't know if it was a CEO, was a head of sales or something with Coors, fired him the next day. Said it made Coors look bad. Yeah, the lies of Phil continue. So, and the thing is that I don't know. Phil Spencer does not have to lie. That's the whole thing. Is that sure, he wants people to move from the Series S to the Series X. I think that was part of the plan. And also another part of the plan, if you don't understand this, is that they wanted the people who were going to buy PlayStations to buy Series S. They just wanted it to be a companion console, kind of like the Nintendo Switch is. Nintendo would look at it like, well, we're a companion console. We're the kid. We're Baby Bear, and we're fine being Baby Bear. Baby Bear got some good games. So, Phil Spencer thought Series S was going to be that. And we also know, based on the evidence that came out in the FCC trial, that Microsoft will say one thing publicly while planning something else privately. That's why Phil Spencer told Matt Booty, well, don't say these things right now. Don't talk about this right now. We don't want people to hate us and stuff like that. So, and it's crazy. So, Coke will fire you for drinking a Pepsi. Oh, is that true? I didn't think that was true. I personally think Pepsi tastes better than Coke, so I would have a problem. Coke, however, tastes better in my adult beverages. When I wanna experience the breeze on the back porch of my old Kentucky home with my bourbon, I have to have a Coca-Cola. So yeah, I would have a problem. Yeah, I would be. I would take Pepsi to work. Now, I think Diet Coke tastes better than Diet Pepsi. I do not like Diet Pepsi at all. Ugh. But I like Dr. Pepper too, from the fountain. I can drink Dr. Pepper from the fountain and the bottle, not from a can. Canned Dr. Pepper tastes too ugh. I'm just like ugh. But from the fountain, I can drink it. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think, is this you just don't think console gamers will enjoy 30 FPS in Unreal 5? Well, they may not. You're not wrong about that, but we're going to be finding out here shortly. Not all Unreal games will be 30 frames per second. That was just, you have to remember, Capono, the people who did the Unreal 5 demo, Epic, they said they could have ran that demo at 60, but 30 FPS gives them more of a cinematic feel. See what I'm saying? So that's fine. That's fine. I'm kind of like, oh, okay, that actually makes sense. Sweetwater is the best beer ever. Never had it. So, I think Coke can get you fired, arrested, and killed. Yeah, that's true. Oh, you've had meetings at Coke and you're not allowed to bring Pepsi products on the premises. Oh, well, there you go then. Yeah, you don't bring Pepsi on the premises then. What about off the premises? Like, you're off the premises, I'd be sitting out there on my 15-minute break. Like, are you gonna go smoke? Nah, I'm gonna go drink a Pepsi. Pepsi does taste better, but disclaim, I invest in Pepsi too. Well, again, I think Pepsi tastes better than Coke. I would choose Pepsi all the time, but Coke tastes better for me when I'm drinking my adult beverages, so I will always default to Coke. So Remnant 2 has dropped down to 720p to get 60. That's why I think FSR 3 is going to be very, 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 very important going forward, married to Unreal Engine. So that's what I believe. Coke believes in free speech. Well, apparently, you got to understand free speech is about government censorship, not people. Again, people, there's a woeful disconnect between people understanding their rights versus you do have constitutional rights, all right? But if a company that you work for, they have the right to make their own rules as well. So I don't know why people don't understand that. You know, like for me, you can't bring a firearm. You can't bring a firearm to work. All right, even though I constitutionally have a right to carry a firearm, but you can't bring them into to your jobs unless you work around firearms, and they may let you do what. And there's some places like in Texas and other places that you can bring your gun to work, but you have to put it in a lockbox. You can't, and that's, which is fine. They may say your lockbox is $200 a month to put your gun in it. Okay, so, and that's their right to do that as well. So, because, you know, and if they catch you with that stuff on the floor, so to speak, or in the building, you can be terminated for it. It's like, okay, you didn't put it in the lockbox like you are supposed to do. So you can still carry your gun, you just can't carry it in here. People just get stuff like that confused. So, but the government doesn't. If you're out protesting and you've signed all the paperwork, the government doesn't have the right to come and shut you up. Now, a matter of fact, a lot of the times the government will be there. It's called the police. Trust me, I went to all that stuff in Louisville with Breonna Taylor, and I saw people down there constitutionally carrying their guns. You're not allowed to brandish, but they had them on their firearm side. They had them hoisted. They had them on their backs and stuff like that. And they were yelling and screaming and all that kind of stuff. And the police were just standing there because it's not like the police, that woman said, everybody has a right to be out here until 4 p.m. After 4 p.m., you know, if you don't leave before 4 p.m., how did she put it? She said, before 4 p.m., you can go where you want to go. But after 4 p.m., you're going to go where we tell you to go, because that's the end of the court order things that they signed to protest. So, and guess what? At 3:30, people started leaving because nobody wants to go to jail, right? So people started leaving. So let's see here. Chocolate Thunder. Yeah, you're right. Well, when you're in prison, your constitutional rights are gone. So if you're under arrest, you have the what? The right to remain silent. You have a right to counsel. Okay? You need to understand anything you say can be used for you and against you in a court of law. That's why they are Mirandizing you. You know, you all forget about this stuff. Did you all not take civics? I keep forgetting they're not teaching you all anything in school. Like, they're not. You know, just... You are some of the dumbest smart people that I know, honestly. You have a 5.0 slot on your MB and can't use it. 5.0 card just doesn't exist yet. But I know, yeah, that's why I did my homework. Shout out to Zaid Masani. I did my homework. So because I got ripped off before. You know, I was told everything about the Sony TV, the X85J. People emailing me, man, go ahead and get the 90. Just go ahead and get the X90, Craig. Go ahead and get that. I'm like, nah, I'm going to get this because it has 2.1. And then I'm sitting up there trying to set the TV up, and I can't find nothing online about it. It's all about the 9.0. It's all about that HDR gambit, which it doesn't have. And so when shout out to JTech TV, I think when he went out and bought a new TV, he bought the X85J, and I think that's what he bought. And I emailed him and said, dude, don't buy that TV. Get the 90. Get that 90. You want a Sony TV. You want it in the medium Bravia range. I had the low end Bravia. I mean, it was a Bravia, but it was a lower end one. I'm like, I can't do it. Then I walked into Best Buy that one day to buy a Bravia TV. Remember, I went in there to get the X90 Sony TV at $14.99. I was mad as F. And this is how this played itself out is I turned to the right, and because I turned to the right, we had to walk past the LG stuff. And I said, is that the C2? Because I keep hearing about that. He said, yeah, that's the C2, blah, 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 this and that. I'm like, oh, that's kind of disappointing. And, and so we keep walking, and then I see another LG TV, and I'm like, oh, what TV is that? He said, oh, well, that's the B2. I said, the B2, like the plane? And he laughed and said, yeah. He said, but this is a new LG and blah, blah, blah. This is, well, how much is it? Like 17? Because it was 55 inch. I said, what is it? 1,700? Something like that, 1,600? And he's like, nah, this is on sale. It's $999.99. I said, bag it. That's it. I didn't say nothing else. Bag it. He said, well, what about the Bravia? I ain't taking it. Bag that $999. So, I mean, that's the way. And so what did I get? I got a step up OLED TV for $200 more than I paid for my Sony X85J and $400 less than the X90. That's why I did a Best Buy. I said, this is the Best Buy. The G3, yeah, I know you don't. I saw the G3 and it was, I literally wet myself. I literally couldn't believe the picture. That is LG's best picture ever in history. So, but in the C3, I wouldn't buy the C3 because there's not a huge difference between the C3 and the C2. So if you can find a C2, this is for all you people looking for TVs, I would get the C2 because you can get the C2 for about, I don't know, probably for about $8.99. That's 50 plus inches. So that's what you get right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's your Best Buy. Ah. Whew. Now that'll wake up the old sales. Yeah, the B2 is a stripped down version. And there's some people that are still buying the CXs. I didn't think you could buy the CXs, but you gotta, and I also understand, let me make this clear. I also understand that if you got the money and you want to be the big boss, okay, then you go ahead and you be big boss. I mean, I'm not here to say not to do it. So, but yeah, my friend bought the G3. He bought the G3. It was his divorce gift. He just got a divorce. He bought something called a Jeep, and he bought the G3. So and that's it. He moved into an apartment. His wife got the house, but she still got to pay the house. He's like, you can have the house. I'm not going to pay on the house. So he got him an apartment, a new TV, a new couch from Overstock, and 2 lamps from Walmart and a new bed, and he's fine. He's like, I don't need nothing else. I don't need nothing else. So, he also bought a PlayStation when he was out there. So, yeah, he had about 3,000 on him. So, he bought the TV, he bought the PlayStation, he bought, oh man, what else did he buy? He bought a laptop because he had to change all his passwords and stuff like that. So, and yeah, he's happy. It's good. I'll have a PC that can max out. Well, my PC gaming is just at 1440p. And I'm fine. Even when that's why, again, I was mad. I wasn't mad. I kind of did that eyebrow raise when Sony did not support 1440p at launch, but their games were 1440p. I thought that was nuts. So, and granted, shout out to Microsoft, they were ready. They had that ready to go at launch, And both in my whole thing is that what are these? Sony supported widescreen, widescreen monitors. What if my widescreen monitor was 1440p? You're basically saying that I'm going to have those borders on there. Now Sony, they fixed it, okay? and people are like, it can't do 1440p. I'm like, yeah, it can. They just, they just did not get that right. Just like with VRR. The VRR made more sense because they had TVs out there, and they're like, well, do we activate VRR for the 800 series, the 900 series? Do we just go to the Bravia series? They finally decided, I think you had to have a 900 and up to get VRR, I think. But just weird. And they weren't ready. And it cost them in the arena, so to speak. But now I think if your game output, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, if you play The Last of Us Part 2, that output on that is 1440p. I think at this point in time, and shout out to the gentleman who gave me the 1440p beta for the PlayStation. I do think at this point in time, it will just output it 1440p. Natively, I think. And that your TV is going to try to upscale it to 4K. So when they do The Last of Us Part 2 remake, remaster, they're going to have a 4K 30 version of it, I believe, and a 1440p, whatever they have now, 60 FPS version. It's got like 2 or 3 different performances on there. I didn't forgot. So, but I thoroughly enjoyed The Last of Us Part 1 remaster. I recommend it for everybody. So, just always let your wife be. Sony added 1440p, but it couldn't do VR, so you couldn't run a lot frame rate mode. Oh well, yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, all that is on there now, but it's always been able to do it. They just had to patch it in because when I bought it, when I went into Best Buy after I bought my play, I heard them in Magnolia talking about the PS5. They were saying, well, it doesn't have VRR support now, but it's there. It's in the software. They just have to turn it on. So, and I said, oh, all right, well, that's good to know. And then that's when everybody had to run out and buy 2.1 HDMI TVs and stuff like that. So it was crazy, but it is what it is. So the G3 means gives 3 chubs. Well, it was something else. That's all I can say. This when you see them, you see those pictures. It's just like, my God. I did. I was like, oh God. But it was $1,700 and I ain't gonna buy it. So I'm happy with and like I said, my X85J Sony TV, I would have in my bedroom, but I don't have a stand big enough for it because it's got those stilts on it. And I like the LG and Samsung TVs because they have that middle base on it. I like the middle base. I don't like these stilts that Sony has on their TVs. So but it will not fit in my bedroom. It won't fit on my thing. Now, the C2 and the Sony 42-inch screen, I don't know if you all have seen that micro OLED they have out, the 42-inch, stunning. But I decided to go with a monitor in the bedroom, and that's where I'm going to put my I was going to put my Xbox on it, but I've also decided to sell my Xbox in October. So Xbox started bragging about the features. Well, again, it was just silly not to have it at launch, but it's fixed now. And I said, yeah, Sony should have had that at launch. No, but Sony was more concerned with sound, which they nailed. And Sony did buy a new company. I don't know if you saw it. That was kind of breaking news. Sony bought a new studio, but it was for it's a headset studio. They bought them for your headset. So about to sell you're going to sell your 6950 XT and get the 79 XTX. You need 2 HDMI 2.1 ports. Oh, okay. Does the 6950 not have? Is it not 2.1? Is it not a 2.1 card? I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I got a 3060, so I have a 3060. So I'm happy with my 3060. Me and my 3060 gonna hang out tonight. So, but yeah, for gaming, I gave it 1440p or 2K. So on all my games on PC are 1440p, all of them. So, and that's what I like. That's where I'm at with it. So glad Sony and Microsoft are supporting it natively. I don't know if it's with PS5 supporting 1440p on a 4K screen. I don't know if they're downsampling out of 4K onto it, or are they are they letting the TV take your picture and upscale it to 4K from 1440p? I'm not sure how their technology is working. So I'm sure it's out there in plain sight. I just didn't look for it. So yeah. But guys, that's about all I had with you. You know, Xbox bending the knee to the dev, I thought was hilarious. We opened up the motherboard in front of you guys. So you all see that, what do you all say? You all want something called receipts. And there you have it. There you have it. So now we're into, let's see here. Let me, we'll go into a little Q&A session here. If anybody has any questions. I did see the Gran Turismo movie. I enjoyed it. It's a matinee movie though. Go see it before 6. You may come out of there starting to fight, you know, if you don't get what you want out of it. Again, it's good. Go see it in an XD theater or in IMAX if you have it. So I'm not sure if they shot it in IMAX. So that Phil is a liar. I don't think he's a liar. I just think he I mean, I'll stay away from that because you never know who's listening, but I do think he's disingenuous on some things. I'll just leave it to me anyway. He's disingenuous, but I'm not going to say that he's an outright liar. So they let Xbox get ahead of their skis and pull the whoop. You talking about with the studio? Yeah, in a way they did. But this generation did not go the way Microsoft thought it was going to go. And you almost listen to Phil Spencer. You almost feel kind of like, yeah, they knew this was going to happen to him, but it is what it is. The PS4 Pro was down sampling on 1080p TVs. It was? Okay. Good to know. Good to know. So I just think he's just kind of disingenuous. That's all. I don't think. I mean, there's a difference between lying and then being disingenuous. I do think that he tells a lot of half truths, but this was the first generation that I never had an Xbox. I have an Xbox. It's okay. I tried to set the headset up again yesterday, and I have a 5.1 set, and I have it on stereo uncompressed. That's what I put it on, and nothing was working. And I was looking at the stuff online. They were like, you just have to keep fooling with it. I fooled with it for an hour, like before the college football started yesterday. I'm like, all right, from 1:30 to 2:30, I'm going to do nothing but try to get this headset to work. Couldn't get it to work, and it works fine everywhere else. I plugged it into my PlayStation stick. It starts playing, and then I put it on my computer. I had no problem with it. It is something going on with that Xbox, so it is what it is. Oh yeah. Yeah, Lincoln Clay, Lincoln, were you out biking yesterday? Were you on a bicycle or were you walking? So, I think Sony has canceled the Pro. That's fine. Again, doing R&D on something and then actually manufacturing it's two different things. So I was just told to call it the next PlayStation, and Sony just may do PlayStation 6. So, but we're getting a little taste of these consoles. Everybody's like, the consoles aren't doing next gen stuff. They're both supporting FSR 3. So again, you can miss me with your whole, we're not getting games that we want. We're not, and you all do realize now that when guys are saying that to you, what they're really saying is that Sony and Microsoft, whatever, isn't giving us anything that they want. Now, I don't listen to Matt's gaming at all. I think he's a straight up clown. But when he did say, when he talks about the consoles, he's talking about what he wants the consoles to do. He's looking at it from his perspective. I actually appreciated that about him because he's not running around, curtsying around stuff. These guys online want Sony and Microsoft to You know, like I said before, at no point did Sony nor Microsoft say everything was going to be 4K native at 60 frames per second. They said we would have more 60 FPS games, which we do. A lot of these games, at least on PlayStation, all of the games on PlayStation have a 60 FPS option. Some of them are just 60. Some of these PS4 games that they put on PS5, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn. Hey, look, that is 60 frames per second now. So it was what was it, 1800p checkerboard? It was checkerboard 4K 30. PS5 got it to 4K 60. Again, so, and that's a PS4 game. It did the same thing with The Last of Us Part 2. That is now 60 frames per second. So if you want to play it, okay, I know a lot of you all like they killed the white guy, right? But how many white guys in that game do you kill? I mean, I really started thinking about it. I killed so many white guys in The Last of Us Part 1 and 2. You know, that's all I was killing. So, Capono said PS4 support the 2025 and PS6 is rumored. Yeah, but they're already pulling PS4 support. But you're right. You're right. They did say that in a press release statement. So, and it's just 2023. But as soon as these games come out, oh, it's cross-platform. It's not gonna be able to do. These guys are stupid, man. They're stupid. So might be the last time I own an Xbox. This Series X is my last Xbox. I mean, I told myself I was just gonna link it up to a monitor, and I was like, you know, I'll kind of hold off until more information on Starfield comes out. And when Todd Howard came out there, sat in that chair and crossed his legs and said the game is going to be 4K native at 30, I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm glad he said that, because it kind of pushed me to get the PC parts that I do have now. So I can't be mad at something that I wanted to do that I was waiting. But will I play Starfield on Xbox Series X in a couple of weeks? Yes. Will I cross save it onto my new PC and go at 60 frames per second? Yes. So I'm good. I'm fine with that game. Now I can look forward to games like Mortal Kombat and shit. I haven't played Gran Turismo yet, or Resident Evil 4, or what else do I have over there? Final Fantasy 16. I still gotta play God of War. I've played it up to the point where you fight Thor, and then Thor kills you and then brings you back. I played it up to that point, got past that point. After that, I pretty much said, all right, I need to go back and play some other stuff. And I'm still playing the DLC for Aloy. I'm still playing that. And because somebody said there was a horse on there, and that you have to fight this horse. I'm like, well, the PS5 can't do that. The people are already lying. So I'm going to find out myself. Let's see here. What's Game of Light said? Cross-platform games are still good. Companies make as much as they can off that existing stuff. I don't disagree with it, but it's almost like they feel like if they're doing cross-platform, then they're going to take something away from the PS5. And they want, again, it's these guys who say, because they still think hardcore gamers, and I've said this before, are the backbone of the gaming community, and it's not. It's the casuals. That's why that game, I don't know if you pull up a YouTube commercial, or if you're watching a YouTube video, and it keeps on pulling up those Total War commercials, and it keeps showing the guy, he gets a sword and he gets armor. Those are games that you play on cell phones and tablets. Like my girlfriend plays that war game, whatever it's called, something war. She likes games like that. The most action-packed game she'll play is XCOM. And that's a turnstile based shooter. That's what she plays. So, she's amazed when she's watching me play like Microsoft Flight Sim or, Mass Effect. Games like that to her were like, wow, I didn't think, because to her, that's not what gaming is. But she's the target. Game, I mean, one of the biggest online games out there is what? Fortnite, Fort Pub, whatever you all call it. PUBG, Pub 8, whatever it is. So to me, a pub is something you go in and have a beer in and some fries, but you all are running around shooting at each other. But so that's crazy. Can't play games on your phone. Well, that's fine. That is fine. And you're not the target audience for phone gaming. Let's see here. Earbuds, $199. I can't wear earbuds though. Ray gonna visit 999 planets in Starfield. Well, again, what I like about Starfield is that the planets are only in the Goldilocks zone. So they took that from NASA, and they also took that life could be on maybe 10% of those planets or something like that. That comes from either NASA or SpaceX or something like that. But what I don't like, and I've said, are the people saying that the game is trash and they haven't played it yet. That's like me saying that your mama's cooking is trash and I haven't tasted it yet. You know? So it's just stuff like that I don't care for. But I stay away from that. Roblox is also huge. They keep making it. So I know, isn't Roblox coming to PlayStation or something like that? So I don't know. It's crazy. So, but yeah, I can't wear earbuds. My ear canal is too narrow. So, and to me, I like the overall sound of headphones. Earbuds to me is just too, it's like, that's what it sounds like to me. But a lot of people swear by them. They have them at work. So, use the machines longer because they are still good. Yeah, I know. They have a lot of games in the pipeline. And one of my questions was going to be today, are you satisfied with PlayStation? And I'm done dealing with that question. Big shout out to Sick Humor, who did his podcast yesterday and said that he thought Sony was going in the wrong direction. But Sick Humor's a businessman and he sees the numbers, and he flat said what? He flat said that him saying that Sony was headed in the wrong direction was wrong. That's what we need in our community. Hey, look, people that say things, they get something wrong, you need to man up. I'm sure Sick Humor's teaching his kids that if you're wrong, say you're wrong. Stand on your square. You know, it's okay. Yeah, Capono, I was killing all these powerful white men in the last. I mean, that's why I'm like, well, why is it a big deal that Joel died? How many white guys did Joel kill? That's all Joel was killing, right? You know, so, and they were like, well, they lied about the marketing. Like, no, it's called deceptive marketing. Okay, they're allowed to use deceptive marketing. You are the consumer. You must do the research to find out about certain things. So, Seisenheiser earbud. Yes, Seisenhower's headphones are fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful headphones. They don't make them for gaming though. This is one of the things I did write a letter to Beats by Dre, that's owned by Apple, I believe. And I asked them, they should make a headset for gaming. They've got it for everything else. They have different DJ stuff for high-end stuff, low-end, listening for different things. They don't have them for gaming, I don't think. So I think they should make some for gaming. But that's my opinion. So, but yeah, he is right. DJ here, the Sennheiser earbuds are probably really good. I know the headsets, they have them at Guitar Center, and I went in there and I listened to those headsets, and I couldn't believe what I was listening to. The brand sounds expensive, but lots of latency. No, not with music. I don't know about gaming with them. The music is effing phenomenal. The music is effing phenomenal. So the way it can disperse sound with highs and lows, they don't make them like that. They don't make them like that. It ain't like Joel is a franchise character. I know, right? I don't disagree with what you're saying. So, you know, that to me has always been a transitional story. Joel lost his daughter in a horrible way. Everybody agrees. You watch the TV show. We all knew what was going to happen to Sarah, and it's still tough to watch, right? I can admit that. That's still hard to watch. But there's a transition that goes on, and if you play the PS5 version of The Last of Us, when Ellie gets left to Joel to get to where she needs to go because that other woman passes away, Tess, whatever her name is, you can actually see the look on Ellie's face that she doesn't trust him. She stays back further away from him, and that's in the game. As she grows to trust him, she moves in closer to him. You all probably didn't notice that. But when if you go back and play the game, okay, you will see that. You will see Ellie is keeping a distance from Joel. And then as she learns to trust Joel, she gets closer to him. That's how good that game was. That's why that game started. It's been on the PS3, it's been on the PS4, and it's on the PS5. So that's why that game is a 3-generational game. And it's the only game like that. Well, and Mass Effect's kind of the same way. But they're not a ton of games. Modern Warfare, your mate Grand Theft Auto, so Last of Us is up there with those type of franchises. So for those open back headphones you tried, for me, I can't remember. It's been a while. got the warranty. Cool. In the Last of Us world, it's like anyone can get it. Yeah. I mean, to me, that's what it feels like. But I enjoyed The Last of Us Part 2. I thought, like I tell people, I laughed at parts. I teared up at parts. I was angry in parts. So that game was doing exactly what it was supposed to do for me. And at the end, yeah, I'm glad Ellie let it go, but I thought they should have added an option where she could have killed her. I thought that would have been cool. Just had an option where Ellie kills Lev, since Lev killed Dina's baby daddy, and then you kill and then you walk away. And once she got back to the house, Ellie realized what she lost. Because she was nobody was there. So revenge, she went for revenge. And I don't know if you remember playing Grand Theft Auto 4. Remember, if you go for revenge, then your cousin dies. But if you go for the money, your cousin's fiance dies. It was one of those two things. There's a price to pay for your last choice. But I enjoyed Grand Theft Auto 4. I don't know why Rockstar, and I do believe that game was going to come to PS Plus for free. I think one of the things Rockstar is going to announce with Sony is that game will be free. So if you want to go back and play it. So yeah, I got a new motherboard, a new Ryzen CPU. Yeah, if I get a Switch, if they come up with a Donkey Kong, what did I say? They announced a Donkey Kong game. I'll be paying my rent late because I'll go get a Switch. No, I'll actually buy a Switch if they get a Donkey Kong game. Because that's the game I grew up in the arcades playing. Donkey Kong and Pac-Man and games like that. Pole Position. Oh, you're going to pick up Taco Bell at 11 in the morning? Well, maybe it won't be that bad. Get that drink. So, you love Abby. Yeah, I thought Abby's character was cool. I thought it was cool. So, but yeah, I thought her character was cool. And look at the way she looked when we first meet her to when she was hanging up on that pole. So she paid a price. She paid a price as well. That's why I keep trying to say, people. The gameplay Last of Us 2 is top-notch animations. Yeah, I know. Dude, it won Game of the Year. It had no challenge. Literally, when you looked at the voting, it overwhelmingly won Game of the Year. And people have a right to their opinion, but their opinion is bullshit. But it's their opinion. We got to let people have their opinions, even though their opinion is bullshit. And there was nothing not to like about The Last of Us Part 2. They said they didn't know Ellie was gay, and it's like, what do you mean you can't tell? How can you not tell? Like, all these indicators are there. And I thought, oh, now Dina is bisexual. Ellie's a straight lesbian. So with a tint of rage. So, so yeah. Did I play Tropical Freeze? I did not play Tropical Freeze. No. So, but yeah, thoroughly, I enjoyed it. I really, really, really enjoyed the game. And I still remember finishing it. And I was like, damn. You know, the epilogue. I like the epilogue more than anything. I also thought the game was too long. I thought, if you beat The Last of Us Part 2, you'll know what I'm about to say here. I thought when Ellie went into the barn and then she had that PTSD moment, so to speak, I thought that should have been the end of the game. The DLC, which they could have sold for $19.99, could have been her going after Dina. Or, I'm sorry, her going after Abby. I thought that made more sense. You sell that DLC, and it's like, well, yeah, she decides to go after Abby, and you know, something like that. I thought that would have been good. I thought that for me, because the game felt 2 hours too long. Like, man, it's a long game. DJ says she looked horrible at the end. Yeah, I know, right? So it's not like she didn't pay a price. So, and then she almost drowned. You know, Ellie was going to drown. And I said, for me personally, as a developer, I would have said, okay, let's give Ellie the opportunity to redeem in Joel's eyes, redeem herself in Joel's eyes. That's why she saw Joel. Okay, that's why she saw Joel towards the end when she was drowning, whatchamacallit. So again, that's why. That's when I kind of got a tear. I'm like, oh, she's going to let her go. She's not going to kill her, because that's not what Joel and them were killing to survive, so to speak. Whereas that this was just going to be flat murder. And I always thought, yeah, go ahead and give us the option to commit these 2 murders, right? Because Ellie killed, Ellie killed her, she should have been able to kill Lev too. Like, yeah, let's go all out. But I thought they should have given the gamer a choice. However, I'm not mad. That's just my opinion, right? And like I said, my opinion is BS. You know, so, oh, you're going to be called up. Cool. But guys, it's almost after 11, and I'm going to get on out of here. I know there's other people coming on, but just remember the Starfield info that came out. You're not going to be able to go all around the whole damn planet. FSR 3.0 is going to work on all GPUs and all consoles. Baldur's Gate dev went in there and slapped Phil Spencer around. And I have a new motherboard. So I know I was talented, but made a strange story. To me, the story is about revenge and forgiveness. But that's what I saw. That's what I saw. You know, Abby wanted revenge for her father's death. Not Abby wanted. Yeah, Abby wanted revenge for what happened to her father, and all those kids all those people that were there when Joel died were the kids of those people Joel killed in the hospital. I don't know if you all don't know that or not. Okay? So if you didn't know, now you know. Everybody Joel killed in that hospital, they had families. They had children. He killed them all to get to Ellie. Ellie then turned around, and then those kids killed him for killing their parents. Then Ellie turned around and killed the kids that killed Joel. That's what she was doing. When she found those pictures, she was like, he was there, she was there. But that's what Ellie and Tommy? That's what they're doing. And if you look in that hotel room where Tommy captured those 2 people, he tortured the hell. If you look at the people, you know, before you go ahead and pull the card, you know, what Ellie has to do in the scene. If you look at the people, you zoom in on the people, it looks horrible what Tommy did to them. So I think Tommy killed 4 people or 5 people, and Ellie was killing the rest. You know, that's why when Abby got the drop on Ellie again, remember Abby could have killed Ellie 2 times. So when she got the drop on Ellie again, she said, "You killed my friends." And what did Ellie say? They killed Joe. You killed Joe. You were not going to get away with it. But ultimately, Ellie had an attack of conscience when she killed the one girl that was pregnant. Remember, that girl looked like she was about 7 months, 6 to 7 months pregnant. She didn't give a damn. She killed her. And that guy was telling her when he was dying, she's pregnant. That's what he was saying when she was dying. That's why she rolled her over. And that's when Ellie realized the price of vengeance. And she turned it off. And then Joel's brother, Tommy, came to her and said, you know, that Abby's been spotted in this area. I can't go after her or else I would just do this myself. You have to do this. And Ellie, remember, Ellie said that she didn't want to do it. And Tommy said, you're a fucking joke. He said, you're a joke. You're a fucking joke. And he walked out of the house. Then Ellie had her PTSD moment and she packed her bags, you know, and she started getting ready. And Dina said what to her? Dina said, if you leave, I won't be here when you come back and I'm taking the baby. And guess what? When Ellie came back, everybody was gone. Everybody was gone. And she couldn't play the guitar anymore because of what happened to her hand. So that's truth. That is truth. And that's what it was. Revenge. It's about revenge and forgiveness. Ellie ultimately had to break the cycle of vengeance. And then according to Neil Druckmann, however you say his name, Abby and Lev got to the Fireflies. That's what they said happened. They said when you see the boat there, at the end of The Last of Us, you see like this place. I don't know what it was called. They were trying to get to, and it has smoke coming from it. That's them getting to the Fireflies. I thought it was a trap. I thought they got there and maybe they got killed, but Neil said, and Neil's the producer director of the game. He said no, they made it. They made it safely. Now we don't know what happens to Ellie on her way back from her house, that house they were at. So maybe The Last of Us Part 3, they wrap that up. They wrap it up early in the first act. They just say, yeah, Ellie came back. She's now disabled. Maybe she's working at the bar. I don't know. Maybe she's that person. She's not doing any more patrols because she's injured, but she can work at the bar. Maybe you do 1 or 2 patrols with her with your new character. But I think you can transition out from Ellie starting with The Last of Us Part 3. Again, The Last of Us universe is similar to the Star Wars universe in the fact that you can write your own stories within that universe. You can do that. You can write. That's what the Star Wars Outlaw game is. Everybody was amazed by, made by Ubisoft, who I do think now Microsoft is going to try to buy, but and will probably get their hands on them in the next 6 to 10 years. But ultimately, Star Wars universe is big enough where you can write your own stories. That's what Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau did, and Kathleen Kennedy's doing it. She's continuing with Daisy Ridley as Rey Skywalker. John Boyega, he's going to come back as well. So I don't know about Oscar Isaac. They may have to recast Oscar Isaac's role, so we'll have to wait and see. So all new stories are coming. So yeah, I'm gonna get on off here. It's almost 11:30, so I got to get my fantasy football team ready because fantasy football starts in 2 weeks. So I need to go ahead and finalize my roster. So, but I will talk to you guys later. You all have a good one, and check out 60 Frames No Lag. I think Tuesday night Porter Rock's gonna do it. So we'll be back on there with you guys.